conceded that, so what I'm saying, prioritize things. You're saying school board, is that an essential role for
Yes, it's
getting
one of
this
our
all?
goals, it's one of our goals in the strategic plan, right there. Yep, it's priority.
So that would be a priority in the district for us. But we have a variety of priorities in the strategic plan. I know that we have board members who want us to align that strategic plan to our budget. And so as we see a new superintendent coming in, Dr. Braybrand, we'll be working very closely with him as he works with the leadership team to prioritize that strategic plan. You know, I can tell you now, I can guarantee that this is a priority for Fairfax County, that this is a priority for our incoming superintendent. I know that he's already reached out to Kofi, and it's a priority for our system. And as I've said before, we have many eyes on us, and so it's incumbent upon us to do what needs to be done.
Turns around.
It is. I can't be any more clear about that.
Okay. All right. I just throwing this out. Is there any other burning questions? I mean, you know, so we have probably one other question out of the mouth we had. Yes, ma'am.
I have a comment, just in terms of a solution base, in terms of talking about it, recognizing the problem, there's something to do, something that others are doing in the selection process, in the screening process, the first conversation with candidates, the first communication with candidates, talk to them about diversity. Let them know that diversity and inclusion bias is a priority for Fairfax County. You are sending that message out, which is part of the brand for Fairfax County, that then is communicated within the entire candidate pool. You don't hire more people than you do hire, right? Of the people who are screened, people who apply, how many applied, and you hired this many? What percentage of those people, of the applicant pool is hired? If you communicate to the entire applicant pool, the semifinalist pool, diversity is important to us. Representation of underrepresented groups, inclusion is important to us. That improves the brand, that attracts more people, you know, down the road. And it's all about, it is a PR issue, it's about communication, it's about recognizing. Here you are saying, I wasn't even thinking about diversity in terms of my hiring practices. But to get people to be aware of it, yes, your candidate pool, your future applicant pool, your current applicant pool, that is part of our brand as a county. What do we stand for? What do we believe in? I think that's critical and to have some consistency within our principal community, that this is part of that screening process, however that is handled, even at the semifinalist phase.
Okay, we broke the protocol. Go, Kim. It's
To lay an additional challenge upon you, as one who's taught in a number of schools, mixed race, or white, and so forth, it is very important, and I recognize the role model and the go-to person. You're absolutely right. At the same time, it is equally important for white children, European American children, Asian American children, to see colored people in roles of authority as well. And I'm a little bit afraid of concentrating all of the teachers of color into schools where the majority is students. So I realize it's almost a zero-sum game. White children need to see black teachers.
As I did say earlier, that this isn't an issue where we're just trying to ensure that we have the same number of teachers in our building as we have as students. It's about ensuring that we have diversity in all of our schools. It's important for everyone to see minority teachers, administrators. That's an important piece of what they do.
Absolutely.
I said I wasn't going to inject myself, but you know, for many years I applied to be a principal in Fairfax County, and there were people who told me that I can only be a principal in certain parts of Fairfax County. And I very clearly told them that you know, there are students who could benefit from me all over this county. So when I became principal, in McLean.
Yes, Franklin Sherman, my children's school.
I was an elementary teacher at Flint Hill Elementary School. So, you know, when people say that I can only work with certain populations, or that people who look like me can only work with certain populations, I just stop that right away. So we are very focused on ensuring that we have diverse populations across the board. Are we there? No, we're not. And we're having that engagement with our principals to ensure that we can start down that road.
Spread the
we are a minority majority school system. And even many of you who are older, you're probably not walked through our schools to see all of our kindergarten classes. We are the world. And that is true in every single school in the school division. That is who we are. We are proud of it. And that's why diverse people working in our schools is important for everybody, because that's who we are. So there's been a dramatic change countywide. There is no longer a situation where it is completely segregated based on geographic
And
presence.
on the instructional end of this, we need to ensure that we are directing our students, our minority students, into careers in education.
Yes.
Because you can't hire people if
Yeah.
the
Nobody's going into it.
if the profession is dwindling. So it's incumbent upon us to ensure that we have programs in place that are directing those students in the 8th, 9th grade level who might be interested in careers in education, that we get them into prep programs. We have a few of those programs, academy programs in the county. We need to expand those programs. We need to provide more opportunities so we can create that pipeline so that when they go to college, they come right back to us and teach for us.
And they stay.
And they stay.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I have to say this only because I am going to inject myself, Marty, as you have as well. It is imperative, and I think more so than just saying that we are recruiting at HBCUs. And I spoke out about this at an AP Academy meeting recently, a few months ago. My undergrad is at Penn State. And we have a very large African American alumni there, even though there's a majority white school. I had the most awesome experience there. Bottom line is, there are not only teachers of color that are only at HBCUs, so if we start showing up at those schools with people at the table, then we will start to attract people to come over to our table.
And that's what we're doing.
It is of extreme importance because when this is 27 years ago, but I'm sitting at a job fair, and who did I see at the table was PG County, and that's where I started my career. So I'm just saying that there are people of color in education programs all over the country, and I know that you all have a vast majority, and we welcome people.
University of Iowa. So
Right, exactly.
Dr.
So
Ramey-
we
Dr.
gotta
Ramey's-
keep in mind that in order to attract, people need to see us at the table.
And Dr.
I'm
Ramey
willing to
has,
go.
Dr.
I've
Ramey
been-
has changed that focus where he's sending principals
Good.
back to their alma mater so that they can
Right.
go, ensuring that we have diverse
Okay.
individuals
Think about what you said, principals.
and other administrators. We're not only
Because
sending
if
principals.
we're sending just the principals, and once again, we're looking at how many look like me.
You have to excuse me when I say principals. You
It's
say
okay,
administrators.
school-based administrators.
But we're
Understood,
sending, we're
Marty.
sending folks,
You gotta have more than two. That's my
It's our
point.
building level people.
You gotta have more
that
than
we've
two
got
to recruit
we've
high
got
school
to
teachers
become more
at the
involved.
table.
So
you said there's only 4
I,
No.
Kofi, did you, Kofi had his hand up.
I just wanted to see if maybe we could switch topics a little bit to maybe talk a little bit about the students. So we had a forum a couple of weeks ago, a Youth and Young Adult Forum, where a lot of the students expressed that the atmosphere in the school was becoming, frankly, kind of toxic in some ways with regard to racially based and religious based bullying. And that's the general sentiment was that it's gotten a lot worse in the last few months. I think we probably shouldn't be surprised about that, given the atmosphere in the nation overall. But it seems like the teachers weren't prepared to help or to assist. In a lot of cases, they were kind of being part of the problem in a way by ignoring the issues or trying to basically sweep it under the rug. So just if you guys could talk about that and what steps.
Very concerned about that, very concerned, and I can let my colleagues speak to it. We put in place what we hoped were sort of anti-bullying stuff, and there's requirements to address, to talk about, but we are very concerned about what's going on in our schools and our nation. And it is trying to figure out how to shut this down, how to address that proactively. Our policies we had hoped, because we put that stuff in 2 to 3 years ago.
Well, and so.
Yeah, and we are concerned about the rise of, it's almost as though it's okay
And
to
so,
do some of these behaviors, and it is not okay.
and what we've seen is that overall, we've seen a decrease in bullying and harassment in Fairfax County since 2010, when you look at, data from the youth survey. But we've seen an increase, in this past year. We're not looking at this year data because we don't have it all. But we have seen an increase, in the kinds of bullying that are related to race and religion. And so one thing that we're doing this summer, I know our Department of Special Services has been very focused on getting these data and trying to do some disaggregation. And we're going to have meetings with all of our administrators this summer around this particular issue. That's as much as I know about it right now because I'm not responsible for the Department of Special Services.
Yeah, and I would just say, you know, as a principal, I'm seeing it more and more. I mean, I'm seeing it all the time, and it's being very difficult to deal with. You know, we're bringing in the parents, and it's really hard for those parents to sit there, you know, in front of a black principal and justify why their child is using, you know, the N-word and, you know, telling kids to go back to their countries and that kind of stuff. What I'm finding though is it's a sign of what's happening in our country.
It's not a Fairfax County.
Yeah, I think it's just people are feeling more comfortable saying what they think. And so, you know, just trying to curb the conversations. What I've done in my school is brought my staff together and said, you know, here's a no tolerance zone. We're not gonna tolerate it if it's spoken, if it's said, we're gonna deal with it. And so we tried our best to deal with it, and we've had some repeat offenders. So, yeah, we just need help from families.
And we will be reaching out, so along with the summer training that we're going to do with principals and identifying these issues and how better to work with them, it's reaching out to faith-based communities, it's reaching out to our parent community, it's reaching out to community-based groups in NAACP, working with MSAOC, so that we can sort of raise this to the next level. It's not appropriate. We do have a no tolerance, and we handle it as best we can when we see it arise in our buildings. But again, we do know that this is increasing, and we've seen an increase since 2015 within our student population. And these are issues that we hadn't seen as much of in Fairfax County. You know, when I was in schools and when I was an administrator, school-based administrator, when I was going to schools on a regular basis, and you talk to students and they'd say, why are we talking about this? This isn't even an issue. And it's becoming an issue, and so we're trying to refocus our efforts to address that. But we are meeting with all of our administrators this summer, looking at data and trying to figure out how we can best move forward.
Right, and just as a piece, because I met with another group this last week, through our parent liaisons and through our families who are here from other countries and undocumented residents, we are trying desperately to protect the children and the families and trying to help them to understand what their rights are. Our parent liaisons who are sort of at the forefront at helping parents and children to, you know, what they can do. And they also have lists of who to go to for legal help. As a school board, we can't offer that, but our parent liaisons can help direct people to resources. And so it is all very concerned, trying to figure out how best to do it.
A lot of it is this little thing right here.
Yes.
And so we have a focus on digital citizenship with our students, and so trying to explain to them that, you know, you leave a trail online, and there are rules and mores for how you use electronic devices. There's an anonymity that this brings to a bullying situation that I didn't have when I was in school. When bullying was more of a face-to-face, or somebody said something on passing notes. Now there are apps that are designed specifically for bullying, where students are anonymous and can gang up and say things. And so we are very focused on ensuring that our students are receiving this digital citizenship curriculum, and that we're focusing on how not only this face-to-face bullying, but the use of technology has added to this and how we can help students better navigate these issues.
And by the way, there is a new one that is coming through that is targeting 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade kids on their cell phones. And it's the last piece is to commit suicide. So we're trying to do that.
No, I just wanted, and I didn't mean to interrupt, but this is with respect to legislation on bullying in Virginia, so if you want me to go in order, I will respect you.
Okay, George.
I think this has been a very good meeting, and I appreciate you all coming. And in a similar vein, I have a suggestion for you and for Kofi and maybe Shireen. I know that Shireen and Kofi have spent a lot of time with students, and I've heard that maybe we should do something like this more periodically. And I would suggest that perhaps we invite some of the students, some of the clubs and associations that they've talked to, and of course with their parents if they wanted to come, and have a similar session such as this, with some assortment, whatever the right assortment of people are.
Well, when I heard Kofi talk about it a few weeks ago, I thought, we should have some people at these meetings. If it wouldn't make the students feel like they were closed down, but we would certainly want to hear the kinds of things that students are saying with regard to race, with regard to bullying, with regard to all the issues that impact students, but that sometimes seem to have a greater focus for students of color. So we'd certainly love to be part of those sessions and be at the table.
We've had difficulty at school board meetings where we have found out that some students who would like to come and speak to us in a public open forum have been bullied. And so they are less willing, and that's a huge concern for us. Those are public forums, and everybody should have a right to come and speak. And so we won't have adults will speak on behalf of the students, but the students themselves are afraid to come because of the bullying.
Did you have a comment?
So my question is there mandatory diversity training for the staff in all the schools?
Yeah, so we've started it's the cultural competency training, and so it's mandatory for all staff. So it's not just school staff, it's mandatory for staff in central office. We all met in teams this past year to do the first module of training. Understanding that this is a massive undertaking when you have 25,000 full-time employees, and then when you add an additional 15,000 hourly employees, it's a huge undertaking. And so with the staff that we had and the resources we had this last year, all we could do was to roll this out in an electronic format with online training that we've developed that is very interactive. You have opportunities to do the training, stop, pause, talk with your team, and whoever that team is. I know that in schools they do it by grade level or
you started with
departments.
your school, right? Yes.
So it's mandatory. So all of our employees, our bus drivers, our food service workers, everybody is engaging in this training. And this next year, we're creating these equity teams in schools and offices who are going to be trained on particular facets of cultural competency, and then they will go back into their schools and their offices to train those staff members. And it's all documented in our online professional development system, so that we know which individuals have gotten the training, which haven't. If you haven't, you get an email that tells you to take it. So we are focused on all employees.
All right, we have to bring this to a close. Panel members have overstayed, and we have another panel member that's getting ready to leave. So here's my offer. I'm gonna let you all make your closing comments. Okay.
You said I was gonna be able to say that.
Be quick.
It will be quick.
Be quick.
I promise. One, I wanted to say, first of all, my sons missed you, okay? Because they went to Flint Hill Elementary and they needed to see you.
We took them to Franklin Sherman.
There was no diversity when my kids were there, and it created a problem, and I really did have to advocate for them on a regular basis. But with respect to bullying, Terry McAuliffe just signed legislation, an anti-bullying measure, shortening the amount of time that the schools have to notify parents of potential situations of bullying. I wanted to say that, so if something happens, he's equipped with that knowledge. But as an advocate for children, I do come across these situations, and so this is very real. I know that it's probably increased in the last year, but it's certainly not It's been going on and
Oh, it has been
targeting.
going on.
And, there are always two victims to bullying. The person who's the perpetrator, there's something within, going on within them, as well as the person that's suffering. So it's just something that's about education. I'm done. I'll shoot this out.
All right, so closing comments here and then after that.
So I would just say thank you for your time and your attention. I do appreciate you inviting me to this meeting, and, you know, as a principal, and for all the principals in our county, we don't take this issue lightly. I think we are on the right step. I think the conversations, having the conversations, because I'm just telling you the truth, no one really had that conversation with me before now. But now we're having conversations, and do I want more oversight for myself? No. But do I need it? Yes. I mean, we need it. It's obvious that we need the oversight. It's obvious that we need more hands looking at us as principals, because we do the hiring. We're the people who are doing it. And there's so many layers to this. You know, the study does point out that African American principals hire the minority candidates. I mean, we have very few African American principals. We can't hire all the candidates. I can't hire all the candidates. Other people have to hire the candidates. So the conversation has to go, and I think we're on the right track. And I appreciate you guys having me here.
Great, and thank you all very much, and this conversation will continue. It is a high priority for the school division. We look at the data, it is important. And this conversation is important for every school in Fairfax County, and let me tell you, it's important for the nation. Quality public education for every single student is the foundation for our democracy, for our economy, for quality of life for everybody in this country. We have to get people to become teachers, they've got to stay there. School divisions, not only Fairfax County, but nationwide, have got to have tools to have good schools, to be held accountable, and to offer it for every child. So we need everybody's help, because we are under attack. Big time.
And I want to thank you for your time today. We have a lot of work to do. It's imperative that we get it right. And it's not just for the adults in the room. We have two young men in the front row here. This is why we have to get this right. And you know, that's what we see every day. That's why we sit here. And that's why we do the work that we do. But we can't do it without your help. We can't do it without your support. We need your feedback. We need you to hold our feet to the fire, and continue to do that. And you have to find that fine line of holding our feet to the fire, but also working with us at the same time. And that's not just incumbent upon this group, it's incumbent upon the entire, all parents and groups across the school system, that, you know, make sure we're doing the right thing, but you can't just sit there and say we're not doing the right thing and not be willing to also help us do the right thing. So as long as we can keep these lines of communication open, I know we're gonna be all right. So thank you.
Thank you. How about giving the county? And number two, before I turn it back over, how many of you are smarter now than you were before we started?